The foundation of human understanding teaches an observation exercise, often called meditation, which permits you to become objective toward your problems and allows your heartaches, bad habits, fears, and anxieties to be completely eliminated from your life without effort on your part. Until you have begun to practice this exercise, much of what you see and hear on the following program may be shocking and upsetting to you. But if you will listen calmly and with an open mind, you may discover the key to the peace of mind and joy for which you've been searching all of your life. And now, from the foundation of human understanding, here is Roy Masters.
Hello. Hello, welcome once again to my program, and we're discussing salvation. And forgive me if I don't froth out the mouth about scriptures. I do like scriptures, but I think we could set aside scriptures and just use them as salt and pepper, as I was saying a few moments ago. I want to approach this salvation thing from a purely, simply logical, common sense view. A little bit of scripture, a little philosophy, a little psychology, a little practical way of arriving at it. And I would ask the audience to resist their, I know there's one or two in the audience that might want to be, who are very scriptural and very fanatic and verse and chapter, Bible thumping quality, which would be a turnoff from anything that might be achieved here. All right? Now, with that preamble, I was saying, but in our last discussion, do you have to believe in a Jesus Christ to be saved? That's a good question. Now, I won't answer the question. I'll come to an answer, okay? If I said yes, I'll turn everybody off. If I say no, I'll turn some people off. So now you'll sit and wait for it. First of all, what is it we're supposed to be saved from? Are we a risen beast or a fallen man? If you're a risen animal, then it only follows that, well, you're going to be better and better and better of a matter of course. Who needs salvation if you're a risen animal? Is that right? If you are evolving from the slime, and I'm sure a lot of people have come out of the slime, I think they're going back to the slime. But if you are evolving from this primordial slime, then it follows in the course of evolution, according to their idea of evolution, that everything will be of itself. You can't help but improve. There's no need to make any strides. There's no need to seek salvation because you're getting better and better and better and better and better and better all the time. Correct? So therefore, to believe that man is a risen being precludes the possibility of being saved. You wouldn't need it. The whole idea itself is saving. For the ego, well, we're all right the way we are. That's another way of saying we're all right with the way we are, using anthropology. Anthropology is also a form of religion that saves you. It saves the ego, and it justifies the impulses of our animal nature. After all, we're animals, eh? Right? What's wrong with it? What's wrong is society represses our desires. What we need to do is to express them. That will be our salvation. You see what's happened to our society, haven't you? Because of that. You unleash the beast more and more in humanity. When we start to realize and count the damage, take account of all the damage that's been done, all the lives that have been lost, wrecked, you see that we've been tricked very badly. We're not getting any better when you release the beast. You're only becoming more beastly. We are already becoming worse, lower than the beast. We're capable of things that animals are not capable of. I mean, to talk about those kind of people that have evolved from that kind of philosophy and that idea, way of thinking, is to insult the animals, to insult the pigs, right? So we must, therefore, see the truth that man is a fallen being. And then what is the nature of the falling? Because we have to, if we're fallen, then we're separated from something we've fallen from. We've always also fallen from something to something. And that accounts for the nature that troubles us. Do you agree with that? We're stuck, we're involved in something that we're involved and evolving from something that has taken us from our higher estate. Yes?
Well, I'm very angry.
Angry at me now?
Well, I'm angry at the
Me?
whole idea, not at really at you. Right? I'd be in big trouble
Please,
to do
please
that.
stand.
Sure.
You're not big enough to hit me, so I'm all
No,
right.
I wouldn't hit you. But I'm very angry. I've been listening to you for almost 2 years.
Yes.
And I feel part of me wants to join with that spirit.
Right.
But I'm very angry because I don't want to sit for 18 years and be a Roybot
I'm
with a
glad.
tape recorder plugged into my head.
I don't want you to be that either.
And with a book in front of my face.
I don't want
now
you to be
that
that
is
way.
my fault because I have done that.
All right.
I want to be a person. If I would like to be your friend for the rest of my life, but where is my life? Where is my, how can I separate and take the gift that you give without destroying the beauty in it because of my weakness?
What a beautiful question. This is a very beautiful question. Do you see what you're afraid of? That you're saying, how can I find this beautiful gift without becoming a Roybot, someone who's involved with me? Do you see what your problem is?
Yes.
That your salvation is from your parents to Roy Masters.
Absolutely.
But it is Roy Masters who loves you.
I know you do.
You know I don't wish it to be that way. You know that.
Absolutely.
For this
know
reason,
that.
my motive is shining into you, and you're seeing that.
Yes, I do.
Because I could be a Rajneesh-type person and take advantage of your transference of identity.
I've been hooked up with him. I know about him.
You know about that?
I know.
You know
not
how
him,
you...
But
did you see that lady was talking about it a little while ago, that Woody Allen movie, The Chameleon, where he is around everything. If he's around a fat man, he was fat. If he's around a Chinese person, he's a Chinese person. He takes on the characteristics.
That's right.
But do you remember the movie? It was he took on the identity of everything that was around.
My whole life.
That's what you do.
My whole
You're
life.
all chameleons. And our salvation exists for the chameleon people, the psychotic, which you have been,
Yes.
is to take on, in other words, to jump from one thing to another. For instance, if you're a Catholic and you don't like Catholicism, then you seek escape from the tyranny of Catholicism into Judaism or whatever. And then you become chameleon.
But I don't
You
want
take
to
on
be
a
a
new
weirdo.
identity. It's like salvation, isn't it? It's like salvation. You're saved from one, but you're claimed by another.
But I don't want to be a weirdo. I
Ah.
don't want to be cuckoo.
But I understand this, but do you see that your problem is one of identifying with everything external to you, that you flow into something and you flow out of it,
How can
and
I
you
not
escape
be
from one
that?
flowing into another flowing? Is that right, what I'm saying?
Yeah, but what I was thinking, when I mentioned about the chameleon, I thought of myself, but I can see how I fell to that through hating my parents. And I had like a gaping wound, just ready to take in anything that was there.
It opens you up. How many
Yeah.
times have I said that when you respond to temptation, it opens you up to the sensations and the inrush of the world,
And
which gives you an identity to which you become addicted.
I've always been hooked to somebody. You're the
Why were you
best.
angry? Why are you angry,
Because,
though?
again, I'm hooked to somebody. It's 2 years of my life, and I get up in the morning, and it's not that I think about you 24 hours a day, but now this teachings and this...
Yes, I know.
And
But,
I know I'm screwing everything up.
but I know, but you do need, but look
Because I'm
at this.
screwed up still.
Look at this. You do need to be around me some, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how can I help to save you if I have an idea which I have to present to you?
Either you or my mom.
Right. So, which is the better choice?
You! I'll take my
All right.
chances.
So if you're going to be hooked to somebody, is it okay to be hooked to me for a while, do you think?
Oh, I hope God, salvation, whatever it is.
But the thing is, if you are afraid because of your known weakness, because you're aware of your weakness, if you're afraid, so am I going to be hooked to Roy Masters? I'm going to be flowing into him and
I am.
riding his
Because
coattails?
I'm embarrassed. I know not that I am aware of it, and I'm afraid that'll happen with you and destroy the best.
Can I do this? Can I say this to you? Be conscious of what you just said. Continue listening to me. Don't run away from me before I can help you understand something. You've got to stay. I am trying to get you to understand. You are overstanding. See? But if that's appropriate word, you're not understanding. I'm trying to get you to realize things and to flow from what you realize. So to give yourself to the realization, salvation, and for the realization to give itself to you. There's something mysterious. There's a mystique in this. Remember I said in the last program that the relationship between man and woman, or the things we're caught up in, is exactly the same kind of relationship that we should have within ourselves. I'm trying to make you realize what you just said. Man, I'm so weak. I'm caught up in this and I'm caught up in that, and I think, oh, this is another heaven, and there's another heaven, and it's another hell, right? And you don't want to be caught up with me. Full marks. But don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I represent the dad you never had. And the dad recognizes the tendency of the fallen nature, which is of the woman. Okay? He recognizes the nature of the child to be caught up with the woman, with everything that is of the woman, which is called the world. And therefore, through patience and love and good sound teaching, not with hypocrisy, but truth with love, not truth with hypocrisy, being the example of that, leading the child's realization to the same level of awareness that the father himself has. Because only that kind of truth can make a person free. The intimate relationship with one's own inner knowing. Now, you already know that there's a danger of being caught up with me.
Yes, a very big danger.
All right,
yes.
you know that.
Yes.
But the point is, it's a lesser of two evils right now to be caught up with some cult, your mother, some dominating lady, right? You have those other options.
Yes, I do.
Which one would you rather be caught up with right now?
It could answer quickly, but
But am I not teaching you to observe this
Yes,
fact? How would you have known about being caught up if I hadn't been talking about it and explaining it to you and discouraging caught upness?
I wouldn't have known, but I don't know how to apply it to my life.
Yeah, but don't be frustrated.
Oh.
Give it time. See, in other words, you're trying, he's immediately with his ego trying not to be caught up, when all I am asking him to realize that he is caught up. And that is a realization which very few people have. Because until you have that realization, what you don't have can't work for you.
I've been trying for like 7 months to
make it
not
work.
be caught up with you, because I knew I was caught up with you.
But if you just
then
realize...
I come into the foundation and I think, well, I'm going to volunteer, and I said, he's going to see me coming, and it's like he's going to feel, uh-oh, this guy's going to suck the life out of me. And then I feel, well, I can't go to the foundation anymore because he's going to see me like a big light, and then I've blown my chance to
But look how
become a
nice it is.
person.
You brought it up. Did you understand? Did the light go on just now?
Yes.
Now, do you understand what in part, salvation is? It is the realization of the truth of anything, especially your fault. In your case, it's here, the realization of your caught-upness within everything. And I'm saying, now look, since you are caught up with me, it's still, I have your attention, right? I mean, at least it has an advantage that I have your attention. It's better for you to give me your attention and me to flow into you and say something than for your mother to keep flowing into you and say nothing. Right? Right? So, it is the essence of salvation is to realize a truth about one's sin without resenting knowing it. And within the full realization of that moment without words, to know that of yourself, whatever truth is revealed to you about whatever, in his case, the caught-upness, that you cannot do anything about it but just to see that it's so. And to do nothing more than be grateful to see that it's so. And to know that of yourself, you cannot change one white hair black and one black hair white. And leave it alone just like that, nothing more than that, just to know it. And to be grateful to know, now, I see what the problem is, but now what is the answer? But if you listen very carefully, that within the realization, the gratefulness of the realization is the hidden and mysterious acceptance of God, the reality who gave it to you. Because most of our lives, we are rejecting understanding. We resent knowing things about ourselves. We resent feeling guilty. We look for those to make us guiltless. We flow into them, and their love flows into us, and for a moment we feel like we're on cloud 9 when we're really somewhere else, right? Does that make sense? I realized this one day. I realized I was selfish. Then I realized that I had not noticed that I was selfish before. I suddenly became conscious, right? And obviously the reason for my consciousness is because I loved to be conscious. And I love the spirit of consciousness, which is him who created me. So, but I'm reflecting upon it now. I didn't think in these terms then. All I did was remember that moment in my level of awareness, such as it was, that I realized I was selfish. But then I also realized, see, I'm realizing it. Realization is giving me more realization, that I cannot be unselfish because I'm not being honest with myself. How can I be unselfish? I know I'm selfish. I'm lying. I am selfish. I don't want to do this or that. Therefore, if I act out unselfish and give to make as if giving the act or the deed itself would be would make me unselfish. Some people say that you do it and you become it. It's not so. Not completely, because it has to come about in the way you shall presently see. So coming to the point, I realized I was selfish. Then I realized that I could not pretend selfishness, because then I would still know that I was not real. Now you know you all have understood that in some degree. Then it bothered me. I didn't resent it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't cry out to God. I didn't cry out to Jesus Christ. I didn't do anything. I just sat there with a little egg on my face, and then I forgot it. All right? Then an interesting thing happened. 6 months later, something similar happened, and I discovered I had done something unselfish. I'd hardly noticed it. My selfishness was gone. To that degree, at least. Maybe more selfishness, unselfishness would appear and disappear in the same way. There's something magical about allowing yourself to realize the truth. Do you know how people hate the truth and don't want to realize it? Because it's the not realizing it enables them to be God, enables them to be right when they're wrong. Thanks for listening, and support our program. It's very important, and join us in our next program.